Hey everyone, welcome back to our Heritage Group channel. My name is G, and this is a 1991 BMW M5. So as you can see, this car is finished in silver over black leather interior. And it is a higher mileage car. This has 185,000 miles on it right now. And given that info, it still looks fantastic for the age. As you guys saw with all the invoices that have been uploaded for this car, it's been taken care of very well through the years. You could tell that whoever has owned it has really cared for it, you know, and made sure to pamper it. They understood the car, understood what it needs, and took care of it to the best of their abilities. And it really shows, you know, when you're driving this car, you could really tell that it has been taken care of. It doesn't feel like it's falling apart. It doesn't feel like it was neglected. It actually doesn't even feel like it has 185,000 miles on here. But that just goes to show whoever understands these E34s and loves these E34s really cares for them. They have been an understated car and undervalued, unfortunately, or you could say fortunately, but they are starting to creep up now that people are realizing what you actually get from this car. They're starting to appreciate more, you know. I think the last one that was on BAT was about 3 months ago or so. It's not like a 911 where there's a new one for sale every day, so, and it is getting harder and harder to come by, especially ones that have been cared for. With that said, I can understand why, you know. Initially, I personally wasn't too big of a fan of the design, but it really grew on me. It is a timeless design, from the straight cut lines to the curves to even the wheels that were designed for the car, you know. This one, on the exterior wise, it does have some scratches here and there, but again, for over a 30-year-old car, I mean, I wouldn't expect anything less, you know. And when you're looking at around on the interior, for the most part, the leather and everything is in its place and how it should be. There are a few areas, like I can see the dash up front over here is warped, starting to warp from the sun. And the door panels, I know the leather, like on the passenger side here, the leather is starting to come off on the bottom, the tray. But again, I mean, these are things that can easily be remedied and fixed. You know, we're nitpicking at this point and expecting too much of it. Besides that, everything else looks good. The headliner doesn't seem to be sagging. Electronics, everything works. We have the AC on right now, actually, and it's fantastic. Especially right now in Southern California, it's really hot here. So if you are somewhere that it is hot, has a great working AC, heater works as well, and I'll be uploading a separate full electricals test video as well. But for now, I think we should just enjoy the drive and talk about how this car really is. I've personally never owned an E34. I've never driven an E34, but I have owned multiple M3s, especially E36s, and I could really compare the driving feel of this E34 to the E36 M3. It feels very similar. What the E36 lacks for, which I feel like this E34 M5 makes up for, is the engine. That S38 engine up front, 3.5 liter as compared to the 3.0 or the 3.2 liters in the E36s. The individual throttle bodies, the smoothness of the engine, that's just what got me the most, I think. When you step on the gas, it really smoothly pulls all the way throughout the power band, you know, and it shifts through all the gears very nicely. No complaints there. Downshifts, upshifts. And braking wise, it holds the car. The brakes are original brakes. You know, it's not upgraded brakes or anything, but at BMW they did a good job on engineering it because it really holds the weight whenever you need it to. The one thing that I can talk about a little bit is the suspension. It has been upgraded. It's not the original springs on there. It has lowering springs, and with the lowering springs, obviously you get a little stiffer ride and a little bit bounciness. It doesn't feel like it's bouncy to the point where the shocks are blown, but I think it's just the spring rate of the lowering springs themselves. But at the same time, it still keeps you planted. It doesn't wobble around, you know, it doesn't bounce around when you hit dips or bumps or anything. And it overall handles very, very well. For a 4-doors sedan, it's surprising. It handles like a 2-door M car, you know. And that sound, you can't get over the sound on this engine. I feel like I could talk about the engine all day on this car. Like we mentioned, it is leaking a little bit of oil, engine oil. But again, with these cars, you have to keep up with maintenance. I believe the last oil pan gasket job was 2022 or 20, yeah, I believe 22. That was like 2 years ago. And the oil itself is clean in the engine. There's no mixing from coolant to oil or oil in the coolant. There's no overheating. Again, we have the AC on right now and driving through. There's a bit of traffic here on the back roads. But overall, it's a fantastic car, and I won't be surprised if the prices start creeping up a lot quicker on these in the next few years. The power is definitely there. I feel like you'll get the best use out of this car on highways when you're actually at speed and you open it up. It feels like the engine's comfortable at higher RPMs and higher speeds and pulls very smoothly all the way throughout the power band. But otherwise, even city driving, it has the torque to be able to, you know, pass a bunch of these modern cars on the streets today. The clutch on the car feels fantastic too. There's no slips that I felt or anything like that. It grabs well. And the exhaust, I think, is the cherry on top. The Billy Boat exhaust, it has a deep sound. It's not drony to where you'll get tired of it on the freeway during long distance commutes. But it has that deep BMW sound that I just love hearing. So far, the only notifications that I've seen pop up on the dash over here have been for the front fog lights. Like I said, we'll be doing the full electricals test, so I'll cover that in the next video, whether they're functioning or not. Or if you're someone that's looking for a car that is understated to fly under the radar, yet with a very timeless design that if anyone sees it and appreciates it, they would know. Something that you could drive every day to work and back maybe, or something on the weekends that you could go up with your friends to local back roads or to Cars and Coffees and really have fun with it, you know. I think if you're looking for any of those things, this is one of the best cars out there, and it's a great bang for the buck. So this car does have a few more days in the auction. If you're interested in the car, like I said, if you're local to SoCal, we're more than happy to accommodate inspections in person. Otherwise, if you have questions, hit the contact seller button, send us a message, or leave a comment in the comment section below, and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, happy bidding, and we'll see you all soon.